Yo, what is up, guys? I am here with Gilad, and I'm super stoked to jam for the next, 30, 45 minutes on just a couple of really cool topics. I'll let him tell his story here in a second, but we do a very similar thing in a different approach, but ultimately see people get very similar outcomes. We've seen each other from a distance now. We met probably 2 weeks ago, and yeah, dude, I'm super stoked just to have another chat and let people listen in.
Yeah, same. Really excited to be here and definitely excited to kind of, go over a few things with you and see where I can provide value. And yeah, really cool podcast got going on, and it was really great when I kind of saw what you were doing with Facebook, really, where I'm really focused on kind of the Instagram side with shout outs. So I was very intrigued, and I feel like we can definitely have like a really fun, cool discussion around those topics, and for sure.
Yeah, 100%, dude. So, yeah, maybe bring me in, dude, and anyone listening on your story. Again, I know you told me a little bit, but dude, what all do you do? How'd you get into this space? Just a kind of high level overview of honestly, your life would be awesome.
Yeah, of course. So I'm based in Israel. I'm originally from Israel. I live in Tel Aviv. And I basically started my online journey when I was 19. I was serving in the army back then, and I didn't know English even. I was like, and
Wow.
and I bought a dropshipping course. That's how it all started. I bought a dropshipping course, did that for about 2 years, improved my English, learned how to work with customers, learned the online game, and I made it pretty successful relatively back then, and that's what allowed me to really like do a lot of personal development. And I tapped into that, and then, oof, let me actually mute that. Sorry. And then I went into opening. I basically closed the stores. Really, I was doing dropshipping for about 2 years, closed that, and though I wanted to dive a lot more into marketing. That's where I opened my first Instagram team page, which is awareness of success. And I did many things, like, kind of did try different side hustles, but the main thing was I was able to turn a page on Instagram go viral. And that's how I started growing kind of a team page, a viral page in the motivational space. And that's what taught me really how Instagram works. I then took that skill into growing other like kind of pages, you can call them, or like communities even, for like the fashion niche and e-commerce niche for like pet products and fashion products and different things. I really leaned on the skill to kind of make brands go viral. And
Mm.
yeah, eventually I started, helping a lot of companies grow. Eventually I leaned a lot more into the kind of personal development niche, which was the first niche I started. And I did that, and I started
Dude,
scaling a
so
field.
yeah, I'll let you keep going. Talk to me about this. I'm curious personally. What was the first page you got that went viral? What was that like?
In terms of like how it got viral, or what was the
Yeah.
page.
Yeah, what was the page?
Yeah, so the name is awareness of success. That's like the first page I opened, right? It's like
Mm.
1.4 million followers right now. But then when I started, it's like 2018 or 19, I believe. The Instagram algorithm and everything was way different. So I was just
Mm.
posting content and going viral for posting that content. Yeah.
Wow, that's dope. 1.4 million. That's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
speaking on shoutouts, that led me to develop that skill into obviously using all those pages, because there are like thousands of those pages to drive traffic really into different offers. And but yeah, was it like just like really learning how to make things go viral, how to do research, how to really find the most viral ideas, what people are thinking and what people are talking about, what they're engaging with, and really reverse engineering that process, the thought process to create content. And yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. So you're in the army, you start kind of jamming out on some of these pages, one gets some momentum. And what happened next? Like, how did you kind of pivot from there? Were people asking you for like shout outs on that page? Did you start charging for shout outs?
Yeah,
Or,
so actually,
yeah.
I think one of the first people to ask for shout out was like Dan Locke, who's like a big guy
Oh, dude. Yeah.
in that level.
Dude, Dan.
I was shocked. Yeah, I was shocked.
No way.
And
Yeah, that's
and uh, and
crazy.
yeah, and it led for like a lot of people asking for shout out, and that was really got also allowed me to also connect with all those kind of personal brands and coaches, understanding that they have a big need for more traffic, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the two main ways I really started monetize that brand was shoutouts, but also selling products. I started doing like affiliate marketing and selling different books and audiobooks and things like that, which turned out to be very profitable for me. Um, so yeah, this is really how, and I just started pivoting all effort into growing more viral and then, monetizing more, helping more personal brands and just like trying to monetize the audience. Let's put it this way.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, bro. That's incredible. So, was Dan Locke really the way you got introduced to online coaching? Was he the first person you kind of helped in that niche, and then it just kind of opened your eyes of like, dude, I could help more people like this? Or how did that go?
I think like the main reason, the main way it opened up for me was I had few people pay me for shoutouts a lot of money, really. Like they were paying me like, either like $1,000 to $5,000 per month just to post content. And then I saw what they were doing, and it was bad. I felt like bad for them for paying me because I wasn't creating the content for them. They were creating it, but then they were like paying me for posting it, right? And then I was
Hmm.
like, hey guys, like, as much as I love you guys paying me, like I don't really like the content that you guys are posting. It's not giving you the best performance. Instead of this video, you should do this. Instead of this, you should do this. Because I knew my audience really well, right? I knew exactly what's
Hmm.
working on those pages. So then they said, hey, you can just create the content. And then I started creating the content for them. That's like really how I started signing them as clients. And now I'm doing the content for them. I'm getting them featured on my page. It gets way better performance. So then they want me to do it also for them on like so many other pages, right? And that's really how it started and how it opened up my eyes into kind of this entire space.
Yeah, bro. So you have Dan Locke, you kind of get into the space. Kind of fast forward and like kind of bring people in on where you're at now, because you're running a successful business. You've got a ton of case studies, you've helped coaches hit some crazy numbers. Yeah, bring us in. What does that look like?
So pretty much ever since that point, I started to dive a lot deeper into like the personal branding and coaching space. Majority, we work with coaches that are in the B2C business opportunity space. That's the main with like a more mass market offers. And right now we have a
Hmm.
team of about 25 team members, and we do all done for you, right? So we basically now we help coaches not just in the front end, which is like the shoutouts and the content, but also in the back end, really optimize like setting and closing and things like that. But yeah, this is like we have scaled multiple offers from literally like zero to more than 500,000 a month. We have multiple clients, hitting those kind of big numbers, and we have also smaller clients that are more in the beginner stages of their business, anywhere like the multiple kind of five-figure space, and we work with them on the things that are gonna get them scale. We always kind of figure out what's the immediate thing that they need, and majority of the people coming to us, they need more traffic really, or they need like just some more booked calls. Let's put it this way, and my team knows how to really handle that and tap that into like the already ecosystem that we have. We have hundreds of shoutouts pages we work with. We have already kind of spent millions in that industry, so we know exactly kind of what works and what's not. And this is really what we are doing, let's say, right now. And personally, I'm working on scaling all of that and trying to solve problems and like be the architect to really like kind of scale the company if you in the mess of the day to day, let's put it this way.
Yeah, 100%. How old are you, dude?
I'm 27.
27. Me too.
Yeah, you're 27 as
Yeah,
well. Nice, man.
yeah, yeah. Same.
Yeah,
So
and
go ahead.
you're in a similar story to me, right? You had an agency and now you're doing coaching, which is like the transition I didn't do. Let's put it this way. So that's what's interesting about how you run things, which fascinate me. Let's put it this way.
Yeah, totally. So kind of same as you, like you had your Dan Locke, right? For me, it was a lady named Brooke Castillo, and she has a super successful coaching business. I think to do like 50 to 60 million a year, and I didn't even know what online coaching was, dude. So I was like, wow, this lady is making so much money, and I was just sitting there shipping out boxes to her new clients, right? Just new boxes, and yeah, essentially, bro. Um, over time, I realized like, hey, she could be posting better videos than she's posting. So I just kind of went to them with this idea, like, hey, what if I, started editing videos for you guys and like ran your social media? And they said yes. So then I kind of started doing a bit of like consulting there and trial and error. And then some of her clients wanted me to do it for them too. So I basically accidentally started an agency, right? And I was more of like social media, yeah, management. But yeah, we had like 20 clients, something like that. And I was young. I didn't really know how ads worked, traffic. I was just, cold emailing people that, I had mutual connections with and referrals. But we basically got everything going, and I realized I didn't really like the model. Like the model was broken for me, at least. Like I don't love doing stuff for people. I'm more of like I like making content, like teaching people, uh, seeing people learn the skill themselves and then go and do it. So I guess I started really just shifting into coaching. And then, dude, I kind of had this moment with the Lord where like I was struggling with alcohol, all these different things, and He was like, dude, business had become like an idol to me, to where all I thought about, all I cared about was my business. So I literally took a season of being a sales rep. So I laid down my coaching business, shut down my agency, was a sales rep for like 6 months, and then boom, stepped back into it, and then things just kind of took off whenever I figured out kind of how you like grew your theme page. For me, it was like I launched a follower ad. Like, hey, are you an online coach struggling with boom, boom, boom? If so, give me a follow. And dude, I don't think anyone had done this before based on how cheap the traffic was. And I mean, bro, immediately, I think I spent like $1,000. I probably got like 5,000 followers. I don't know.
Crazy.
And then just like, yeah, started, setting and closing, and then a lot more people started doing it. But yeah, dude, that's kind of, how I see the journey. I'm sure it sounds like it just happened overnight.
No,
And a
no,
lot of
yeah.
people hear your journey too, and they're like, bro, you got 25 employees now. You learned English. That's incredible. You went from the military to like 25 employees, but they don't see like the journey and like the long days, all the work put in, the stress.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's amazing things, but yeah, dude.
It's so much easier to talk about the good things than the bad things, right? You also, in my eyes, I try to forget the bad things that happens, losing merchants account, losing team members, losing clients, losing whatever, so many things, so much stress. And it's not quick. I can hear in your journey as well, because I guess walked similar path to kind of seeing like a transition. 1 year going as a sales rep from being a business owner. I can't imagine like the way it like fucks your mind, like, because when you are a business owner and you start scaling, like all you have is like it shifts your identity almost, right?
Hmm.
And then I guess for you, like you figuring out like the agency model wasn't for you, because there is one thing about the agency model, it gets you to be a lot you need to care so much for things to really happen. It gets you to also
Yeah.
have a lot of stress. It's like part of the business. For me,
Hmm.
I'm really learning to every day learning, but to manage it and to obviously like care, but try to manage stress. Let's put it this way. But it's
Hmm.
definitely not for anyone, and it's definitely not the best model for scaling. Let's put it this way. So I
Yeah.
agree with you on that.
Yeah, for sure. And no, it's great. I think it's just a different model. Like different people have different, skill sets. But yeah, bro, let's do this. I've never done this before. I'm curious. And I'll share one of mine too. What was one of your biggest setbacks in business, or like bad stories? Like, what's one of the worst things that ever happened? I'm curious.
I need to really like start qualifying them from how bad of experience. I can tell you a few. Let me start with like the first that comes to mind, right? It's like today I look at this story and I'm like, it's not such a big deal. It's not. But like back then it was probably like I thought I'm just gonna go back to being an employee and everything is done. But pretty much what was happening is like we were already kind of growing. I was actually in the peak performance of growth. So I was going from being like a self-employed to now opening like a company, and we started having like a lot of revenue coming in, growing very fast. And what happened is I had to open like an LLC and open another account and stuff like that. And then I moved all the revenue that's coming into the new PayPal account of the new LLC, right? And
Hmm.
because you have to like do it properly this time. And the thing is like because I'm in Israel, I'm doing business in the United States. It's very hard anyway to have merchant processes and stuff like that. And I was taking all the money in inside PayPal and getting all the money out also inside PayPal. So it was my only thing. and then
Dang.
and because probably like I moved the money fast to the new PayPal account, it was a lot of money coming in and coming out. They shut us down and they blocked both of my accounts, the older one and the new one. And the thing is, I couldn't accept money from clients, and then I also couldn't pay the pages, which is like, clients were paying me to gain followers, and then I need to pay the pages for them to get the followers, and we are paying thousands of dollars every day, and I can't pay them. Back then, there's no TransferWise, there's no this, there's no that. It's like just PayPal, and no matter which phone call I did, which that, whatever, I couldn't solve it, and they locked my money. Also, I forgot to mention, they locked a very high amount of my money on there for like 180 days. So it's like I don't have even the cash flow I need to run the business because it's locked. All the money that came
Yeah.
in. So this is me in that situation, really trying to get things to move. I guess it was a setback. Ever since then, we had a ton of other setbacks. It's just what came to mind as like something big that I remember just myself going into bed and don't want to go out of it. Like not knowing how to handle it back then, like that type of situation.
Dude, 100%. So, what did y'all end up doing? Like with PayPal, did you find another processor? Did they release the
Oh,
money? What
well,
happened?
I actually came up with like a really cool solution. I can even share it. It might be good, but basically, we found another processor. This another processor, by the way, end up blocking us as well. I had to like also fix it. Also a bad time, but let's say we fixed it. We found another processor, so we found another way to accept money, and we also opened like eventually like an LLC in the United States. So now we can accept money, Stripe and stuff like that. But then, as far as like PayPal, we still wanted to do the expenses, and what I found out is like PayPal will never block you if you only just like spend money and you never accept money because they are way more like they care about a lot more what you accept money for rather than what you're spending for because it's your actual like so right now we have PayPal account that's like just like $0 on the balance and just connected to the credit card. So then we can still
Mm.
use PayPal. It's just like there's no money there. It's going out directly from the card. And
Yeah.
then that's what we figured out. And it's been working for us really well. But we also have now, I think, like three different processes for getting money. So we never count on like one processor. That was like the learning curve. And then we also have also different alternatives for paying influencers with no PayPal. Let's put it this way. So we have everything kind of mapped out to make sure things doesn't repeat.
Yeah, dude, it's so crazy. You went to the processor as a story because the same thing happened to me twice with Stripe. So I literally tell everyone don't use Stripe. Like if you're above like 10, 20, 30K a month. But yeah, so it was early on, probably the third month of business. We went from like 40K, 60, I think maybe 80. And then so what I did was I had like some cash saved up and we spent 28,000 bucks on a coaching program.
Hmm.
Ironically, that taught us shout outs. And that was like
Hmm.
a large piece of our cash at the time because we were spending money on ads and team members and stuff. Um, and then right after that, we had Stripe hold like $25,000 worth of like new sales.
Mm.
So within the
Hmm.
matter of like a day, all of our money was gone and
Damn.
tied up in Stripe. And then we
Hmm.
couldn't accept any more payments.
Oh, they blocked it.
And yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh, like,
Hmm.
what are we gonna do? And we made it through. But then, even more recent, probably 4 months ago, whenever I moved into this house,
Hmm.
Stripe was holding, like more than six figures of our sales in
Mm.
the holding fund. The same month I was trying to buy a house, and
Oh shit.
yeah, it was like for 180 days too.
Oh,
So it was
so
crazy. But yeah, thank goodness they released it. But yeah, dude, I didn't realize how many people face this problem.
I think like everyone in the
Yeah,
space faces this problem. It's something that's like almost you can't break from it.
100
But
percent.
I can't imagine. And you're telling people not to use Stripe, but you're still using Stripe. That's what I'm understanding. Or were you able to pivot from it?
No, so I pivoted from Stripe 4 months ago to
Hmm.
Easy Pay Direct.
Okay.
It's a lot better. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally amazing. So, um, yeah, that's been good. But, dude, I was curious, what is it that kind of fuels you to keep going? Like whenever you have one of those bad days, Like what is your reason for doing all this?
Yeah. You know, it's a really good question that changes over time, in my opinion. Like the really like where do we drive motivation? I know where when I started, it was I ran away from being broke. Let's put it this way. Like I grew up, my parents got divorced when I was very young, and we grew up in a pretty like poor environment. Let's put it this way. My mom, she took care of me and my sister, and it was like we always had lack of money. Let's put it this way. So then, me wanting to grow a business was came from the idea that I want to be able to give my kids what I didn't have. That's like the main thing. I don't have any kids right now, but like the main driver was like, I when I was in the army and when I got myself into the army, I was able to get myself into like almost like the top position, and then I could already like in doing this, I could already see my future making X much money,
Mm.
doing this and this job and stuff like that. And not only that, I didn't like that because I didn't really like people telling me what to do, and I felt like I have way more potential. I also didn't see the potential. So me starting out was like, I want to change it. Like I want to do it big.
Mm.
And then recently, like I believe what happens to any entrepreneur that's kind of keep growing, like this reason didn't last because once you start making money, it just doesn't last anymore. So
Yep.
I started thinking a lot deeper into like why do I do what I do, and I feel like it's at the point right now that I understand I have the potential to really, you know, change things, change people, change the world, even like really like impact in a way that it starts with impacting my own family and my people closer to me, right? By becoming the Gilad that I can become, right? And step by step, the more I see myself in the future growing more, it's like I can create more impact. I can drive more things. And then on those bad days, what I'm doing honestly is just reminding myself positive thoughts about all the things that I can do, I want to do, I meant to do, and so and so. And that's kind of what's driving me on those days. Let's put it this way. Not sure if it makes sense,
Love
but
it,
yeah.
bro. No, it makes total sense, dude. And honestly, I think that's where I've been at recently too, is finding a deeper purpose. Because at first it's like the money, like let's be honest, like
Yeah,
that's like most people's motivation is
of
like
course.
if I could just get more money, then X, Y, and Z will be better. And then it's like you start making it, and
Hmm.
then it's like cool.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously it's great to have money and stuff, but um, it's not as satisfying as people would think. And I think a lot of people
Yeah,
probably look at you like, bro, you've got it made, you've got everything you could ever want, and they forget you're a human.
yeah,
Like
but
there's like real things that go on. Yeah.
to me, it's even not like that. I feel like our mindset is so critical, even when you make money. Like for me, like it was so hard to even let go and buy myself things that I want and like really treat myself
Mhm.
well and stuff like that when I was making money, just because of the mindset I have in relation to money, the way I grew up, and I'm still working on changing that. Let's put it this way. So it's
Mhm.
like it's not necessarily the money, it's more of like the mindset you approach money and then the mindset you approach life in general. Then and obviously money matters a lot, but it's not as big of a driver force once you like you need to find your higher purpose to really play big and like and also stay in the game for a long time. That's kind of how I see it.
100%, bro. What's the what's something that you spend money on? Like what's the most expensive thing you bought yourself?
Personally, let's put it this way, or in business.
Personally.
Yeah, it's a funny thing because in business I may go spend 50 grand on a mastermind and it will be like a 1 hour decision, right? But personally, actually I just recently bought a new car, which is like I guess like the biggest investment I made on myself really. Just like got it from the dealership and it should arrive in like the next 2 weeks.
What'd
I
you
am a
get?
very I don't I don't know if you have this car in the US, to be honest. It's a Cupra Leon. It's I don't think you have that. It's popular in Europe and now
I
here
don't
in
think so.
Israel. It's very similar to it's the same. It's the champion. It's the same like Audi. Let's put it this way, same brand, just
Okay,
a
nice.
different company. So it's a sport car. It's not a sport car. It's a regular car that is very sporty. Let's put it this way, like a
Yeah.
strong car that
Yeah.
looks good, exactly how I like it. I guess that's the biggest investment I made besides my house that I'm renting here on Tel Aviv. I live by the beach, but that's kind of I'm still working on my mindset even because I'm a very like I'm trying to stay. I don't know how to say it like in English like just get what I need. Let's put it this way, and then stay keep focus on what I care about, which is like family,
Hmm.
friends, business, things like that.
Yeah, 100%. No,
Yeah.
I
What
love
about
that, bro.
you?
I think the most expensive thing was definitely my house, but a watch.
Yeah.
So I have this
What watch do
watch.
you have?
This one's just a date just, but I have a Daytona as well. I think that one was like 22,000. But yeah, like when I first got it, I was like, "This is awesome." But then now it's just
Yeah.
like, man, it's just a watch.
Loses the
So
excitement. Yeah, I know.
yeah, yeah,
Good thing about
100%.
watches, they usually hold value. So
Yeah,
yeah, better investment than a car that loses value. Let's put it this way.
yeah, 100%. Dude, let's jam on this for a minute. So we both kind of teach a similar thing where one of the main issues coaches have is traffic,
Yeah,
getting more people into their world, number one, or two, converting the traffic,
correct.
setters, closers, and then scaling that. So
Yeah.
what have you seen hold most coaches back? Let's say they're already doing 20 to like 50K a month. What takes them to, 2, 3, 500K a month?
Good. Okay, good question. I can definitely try breaking it down for you. In my eyes, um, I got the chance firsthand to scale, many offers from the 20K a month or 30 or 40K a month to the, let's say, more than 200K a month minimum, like cash collected. So it comes down to, really what you need to scale, in my opinion, is like one traffic source that works really well for you. And potentially you can expand into two, but like in my opinion, like just like one that you can really scale, and then one um content like we're talking about Instagram, right? Because I can't tell you how to
Yeah.
scale
Yeah.
if you
Let's,
do
yeah.
YouTube, right? It's like
Instagram.
it's not my thing.
Yeah.
But when you look on Instagram, it's like you need to have like just like one profile that you can have build really good content and brand with, that you can like really nurture the audience and build connection and so and so. And then obviously like what we discussed, setters, closers. Now the thing is, uh, many coaches that are doing 20K are already doing everything I just said. So what's stopping them from scaling, right? That's where the good question comes in. So to me is like number one, tracking, knowing the data. Like so many
Hmm.
coaches just like don't have a tracker set up, and if they do, they don't feel it, or they don't get the team to feel it. And the thing is like the way we do it is like you have to get very close to the data. It needs to be what you look in the morning, what you look in the evening, what you make sure everything is dialed in, because that's the only way to make data-driven decisions. And you wanna also understand how to track things. And then you wanna track things for the traffic, you wanna track things for the content, you wanna track things for the setting and for the closing and the show rate and all of that. That's the first thing we usually fix as far as like to make data-driven decisions. And then usually, what we saw, what I can also tell you is like a really good offer is a critical thing, because obviously sometimes if the offer is just not good enough, and it's not appealing enough, and it's very hard to scale. So I would say let's
Hmm.
assume you do have a good offer, and we can talk about that more if you want, like what's a good offer. But once there is a really good offer and you look on the data, I would say a major thing that I'm seeing with also when you're at a 20K, 40K is like stepping away from setting. I see setting as like a needle mover in the business that so many people step away from. They think they're gonna hire a seller and everything is gonna be fine. But I think the setting is you actually where you make the money, not the closing. Like this is where you like depending on the structure of the business, but to my perspective is like where you can really develop authentic conversations with people that are coming in and not just like followers that are trying to set. Depending how you structure
Hmm.
your funnel, but when you're in the 20, 40K a month mark, you don't need a huge setting team. You just need to do voice messages or talk to people or be on top of your setter to help them really talk to the people and just get people into the phone and close them on high ticket. It's way easier to do that rather than build a complex system that is gonna be very hard to scale. And then spending more money on ads. That's really what I'm seeing.
Dude, 100%. Like that's one thing that I see people not do is they get everything down, but then they don't do that piece, which is spend more. Like I was just showing one of my clients today. The reason we're at where we're at, A, is having a good offer, a marketing process that's scalable, sales team, but that we're just spending more.
Yeah,
Like they were spending like I think $200 on ads or something, maybe 2,000, and they were like, "Well, why? Like, how do I go to the next level?" It's like you need to spend more. Like I'm spending that
yeah,
every day.
yeah.
So what does somebody who's doing 400 to 500K a month spend on shout outs like per month?
I,
What does that
I'm,
breakdown look
I
like
mean,
usually?
yeah.
I
So
know it
even
depends, but
yeah, it depends. But even before, when I say spend more money on ads, it can be ads like what you're talking about, but it can be also shout out. Doesn't matter. But on your traffic source that's
yep,
working really well, just spend more. The
exactly.
more you spend, the more you make. In terms
Yep.
of like what a client is, a person that's doing 500,000 a month, let's put it this way, spend on shout outs. It really depends on the strategy, to be honest, because there are people that are spending 50K a month on shoutouts and they make 10x ROAS or closer to
Mhm.
that, and there are people that are spending 10K on shoutouts and they make 500K. It all depends on like I think the systems that you have in the backend. Because if you have really good organic content team that you can go and blow up organically already, then you can obviously lower the ad spend because there's a lot of traffic coming in organically, and you obviously
Mhm.
make more. But then as you scale ad spend, you can also scale revenue. That's the thing about it.
Yep, 100%. So, yeah, man, who is your favorite client to work with? So they're B2C, and what else? The B2C offer, they already have momentum, or yeah, talk to me about that.
Yeah, I think we really like to work with clients that one are just like in the same energy and environment, like they are coachable, they wanna scale, and they are in a position where they just need more booked calls, they need more traffic. Usually they are doing minimum like 6 figures a month, sometimes less, sometimes more in the like 40, 50K range, but ideally is like just people that are has a good offer and really want to scale that and be coachable, and
Hmm.
then we just like step in and take over their shout outs, but then also coach them on the back end systems, content setting, things like that. This is really our favorite type of clients, and the offers that works really well is anything mass market, right? Like a e-com offer, learn how to do e-com or YouTube or how to lose weight or how to date for men to get advice on how to date women. Anything that's like kind of broad audience, this is the
Hmm.
best that works really well for shout outs.
Yeah, 100%. No, I love that, dude. Well, bro, I mean, been a great convo so far. Anything else you want to dive into?
I mean, what does your audience really care about, right? From my side, I'm here to provide value. Anything you wanna extend on, I guess.
Let's do this. Let's do this. I am
Yeah.
curious. What is the perfect offer?
What is the perfect offer?
Yeah, you mentioned offer a second ago. I'm curious, in your opinion, like from all the offers you've helped scale and seen, like how do you know when you have a perfect offer?
So you're saying like in the sense of like what's the best niche to be in, or what's like how to set up the offer in like the best way? Because niche
How to
wise,
set up the
I can
offer in the best way?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, how to set it up. Yeah. I
Hmm.
think I think I think it really depends on like the industry, let's put it this way. But then
Hmm.
you want to make sure when you set up like the offer, you want to make sure that you can sell it in a way that from um from a prospect perspective, it would be like a, a non irresistible offer to buy. Let's put it this way. So it's
Hmm.
like the risk, like I want to make it so good that the risk of not buying into it is just bigger than buying into it. That's kind of how I look at it.
Hmm.
And there are
Yep.
ways to do it with like guarantees and what's actually the fulfillment and dive into exactly what they find valuable in. But like that's really how I look at it, especially like also selling like the agency services or things like that. Like once they talk to us, it's usually they understand, hey, it's like way bigger risk, let's put it this way, not to go heavy and run traffic, shoutouts, whatever, than to actually do it. And
Yep.
and and that's how I look at it for any coaching offer. Let's put it this way. And for every offer, there will be the specifics for it. What do you think about it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree. I think it's going after. I would say this: the perfect offer, in my opinion, is usually teaching someone something that you've accomplished
Hmm.
yourself, right? So you are like a walking representation of the transformation, and or something that you've helped a lot of people do
Yeah,
already.
of course.
Um,
Yeah.
and then once you have that down, then yeah, the perfect offer is like you just have to remove like the five objections, right? Which is I need to think about it, partner, fear, logistics, or like money. So as long as you're solving a pain point that people have a desire to change and you can logistically do it faster, simpler than anyone else, and they have money to solve it, perfect.
Yeah.
And I
That's
used to do the guarantees and refunds and all that, but I've realized whenever you do that, you literally attract,
different type of audience, lower quality people.
yes, yeah, dude. So it works, 100% it works, like without a doubt. But recently, I've personally been kind of stepping into a place of like, dude, I actually want less clients, like less clients, pay more, stay longer, um, you know, higher quality. That's kind of the flow I've been in. So yeah, bro. But no, I agree 100% with you.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I agree with everything you said. It's almost it's almost like the basics to actually like have a converting offer. That's and I agree with it
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Well, bro, thanks so much for hopping on. I know this is going to definitely encourage people, help people. What's one last thing you would say to someone who feels called to build something big like you have? Like maybe a word of encouragement or just something you wish you would have done differently.
Ooh, I actually have something I'm working on right now that I can say. Um, this is it's a message for anyone trying to build, but also a message for me like 3 years ago, to be honest. And I know you can change the past, so I'm doing things now in order to not say the same things 3 years from now. But at least
Mm-hmm.
for me, that's my has been my experience is when you're in building mode, and let's assume you are in the 100K a month mark or 50K a month mark or whatever. I was
Mm-hmm.
very much focused on the next month. So it's like, how can I
Mm-hmm.
get the revenue to be the next month this and the next month this and the next month this? And you're always scaling and you're always kind of, you have ups and downs and things like that, but you're always focused on the next month and maybe sometimes the next quarter, right? But those months, they end up into years and this ends up into progress, which is incredible. At the end of the day, you can say, hey, I did this and that. But then when you look back, I'm looking back and I'm saying, hey, if I would play smart and 3 years ago, 5 years ago, I was thinking the long game, probably I would do things differently in the sense of like, okay, where is my leverage? And then for me, it was I can build team pages. So instead of building just like few, I would probably build more, and maybe I would make less money per
Mm-hmm.
month, but I would build a lot bigger like foundation that can give me
Yeah.
leverage for like decades. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
So, and it's not just that. I would probably do this. I would probably like invest in real estate earlier. I'd probably invest in Bitcoin earlier. I'd probably do different things that I'm doing for the last year. I'll probably do them earlier. I know it's easy to say than do, but this is kind of my advice. Like when you scale a business, to me, I was like so focused on the next month and getting the cash flow and getting the then really like stepping back and kind of where things will go and where should I put my attention for the next decade or 10 or 2 3 decades, whatever, and then take actions that direction. um 3 years down the line, potentially you see a lot bigger like output, and that's what I'm working on today. So that's kind of my advice on the 2 cents on that.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I love that. Last question. Where can people find you if they're like, yo, I want to learn more about what you do, how you do it? What's your best way to get in contact? Is it Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram, it's Gilad Hanina. Feel free to go there or either like aosmedia.net, which is our website. And yeah, that's gonna be the best way.
Perfect. Yeah, and I'll tag that down below in the comment section. But dude, thanks so much for hopping on. And
Yeah, thank you
yeah,
for
I hope
having me.
this blessed
Appreciate it.
people for sure. Yeah, totally, dude.